Hi.
Welcome. The New Leaf News presents the Legends Clubhouse. I love doing this twice in a row all the time. Um, I am Bobby Kaboose. As always, I am with Monday Night Lawson. What's going on, man?
We
Uh,
coming
I
from
love
the
doing the instant twice, dude.
first of
I
all,
love.
on OBS there's a start streaming and then go live, which is fucking stupid, but
Um,
I don't make the rules.
so TGIF, man. It's Friday.
Mhm.
I know it doesn't matter to you because you know you're 7 days of the week is the weekend. So
Exactly.
but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's Friday. Um, big news yesterday, man. We got a new pope, right?
Right.
Pope from Chi-Town. I think he's a Sox fan. They said he's from the South Side, so
Mhm.
he,
I
you
saw a
know,
couple videos on Twitter him coming out to like the Chicago Bulls teams.
yeah,
You know what's
man.
even more
George,
crazy? I was listening in on some other videos. Apparently he went to Villanova, and I was like, that's apparently it's like the first American Pope,
yeah,
which is
it
kind
is.
of insane.
I think it's the 133rd pope, and it's the first American. Um, and
Wow.
I didn't know they didn't use their real names. Like,
What do you mean they
I didn't
didn't?
know.
What do you mean they don't use their
Like,
real names?
Leo's not his name. Leo's
So
not his real name.
what's his
They
name?
his name is like Francis something or other. Um, yeah, his real name is something
What?
else. Then they choose a pope name.
They choose a pope name?
Yeah,
I would like to know if there's like a list online of just pope names.
I think there is because I think there is like I think obviously I think it has to be like a biblical name.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's like that's why he's like Pope Leo the 14th or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, you know what you get when you take the word pope? You take the E out, right? You get pop,
Yeah.
right? And what's the opposite of a pop? A mom. So basically on Sunday it's Mother's Day, right? So
Right.
today is our Mother's Day edition of the Legends Clubhouse.
Mhm.
Um, we got the good, the bad, the ugly of real and fictional moms. What makes a good mom in your eyes, Lawson? Someone that breastfeeds you until you're 15?
Listen, that's only in TV. Um, to be.
Tell that to someone that's happening in real life.
Hey man. It's.
Fuck the biddy.
What'd you say?
Fuck the biddy.
That's insane.
It's
No,
like
no,
South
but
Park, dude. Remember when Bono was the biggest piece of shit
yeah.
ever, and he had to suck the biddy?
No, though, but shout out to all the moms out there, dude. We got some awesome moms.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude. Though, but
Yeah.
I know yesterday, you not on the show, but after the show, you brought up the idea of doing like just like you said, just a bunch of fictional moms talking about them and all
Yeah,
that jazz. Yeah. So, um,
yeah, man.
if you want to kick us
Uh,
off, and we can go from there.
so, dude, when you think of great moms, right? You think of or legendary moms. You think of like Peggy Bundy, Marge Simpson, Lois Griffin. Um, I'm missing a bunch, but there's a bunch of moms out there.
Hmm.
All different types of styles, and there's the hands-off mom, the hands-on mom, the overprotective mom,
The
the
helicopter
mom that
mom
yeah, what's a helicopter mom?
hovers. They just
She can
hover all
fly?
over you.
Oh, I thought well, the merry-go-round mom, the one that just gets around. Like there's a lot of moms out there. Look at the mom from Bad Santa. She was a fucking bitch, dude. Like,
Look at
sorry, you dealt a bad hand. I had a great mom for 35 years of my life, and now that she's gone, that holiday died with it. So, I don't necessarily have to celebrate Mother's Day, but I do have my girlfriend has a great mom, so we celebrate with her.
well, there you go.
I'm back in the loop of Mother's Day. It rejuvenated. It resurrected like Jesus on Easter. You know, we put my mom in a tomb for a year, and then the rock was removed, and now I get to celebrate it again because
Was it
of my
removed?
girlfriend's mom.
Was it removed by like the Easter Bunny?
Um, I think it was the mom fairy.
Hey,
Do
I've been
you know
saying for
about the mom fairy?
no, but I've been saying for a long time that moms just have superpowers, bro.
Yeah, man, they do. I mean,
Like
they
growing up, if my mom was like in the kitchen doing the dishes, and she would be doing it under like scalding hot water, and like I would just run like my finger through it, and it was just I would damn near get 3rd-degree burn, and I'm like, that shit's not hot. And she's like, no, and I'm like, mom's got superpowers, dude. I swear.
my brother still says he's scarred for life for washing dishes because he had to do it by hand when he was a kid,
Yeah.
and he always joked around that my mom would make it scalding hot, but she really wouldn't. But
Right.
he's like, I'm scarred, and my hands. He's like, my hands are so damaged from that I can't wash dishes, so he refuses to wash dishes
I
to this
can't
day.
I can't feel anything. I don't have a fingerprint. It was so hot.
Yeah,
It's funny.
yeah, yeah. We have no fingerprints left. Like we can get away with everything. Um, but no, man. The ideal mom
Hmm.
would be, I think, like I was gonna say like a Lois Griffin, but it's not because Lois Griffin, she is fucked up many of time. She has made out with her daughter's boyfriend, which is in my book a big no-no. I don't know about yours, but like I don't know, like if my married mom was making out with my sister's boyfriend,
There
I'd be
kind of
kind of
be issue
pissed.
at hand.
Yeah. And then, then she was like being a voyeur and watching her daughter with said boyfriend, which, that's even, I don't know if that's weirder than making out with her boyfriend, but or watching. I don't know which one's worse. I'm not really sure.
This is
And then, she damn near killed Stewie when he was like knocked out for like 2 weeks and he had a big slit in his head and she just fucking tossed him behind the fucking car.
Do you remember when she was tweaking and put his ass in the washing machine?
So I don't know if she's the ideal mom, but she's up there in legendary moms. Who do
as,
you, who
as
do you got?
especially TV moms. Oh, dude, she's awesome.
Yeah,
In like the same universe, kinda. Francine from American Dad. Um,
yeah,
dude, she's awesome. With she's the typical TV blonde mom where she has plenty of dumbass moments from
yeah,
when
100%.
and then there are some instances in like the hurricane episode where she keeps trying to tell Stan not to throw that dumbass javelin and he throws it and fucking it was a harpoon and it sticks her ass to the wall, and then after the episode she's like, you harpooned me. I told you not to do it because
That's
that's
the one thing you couldn't do, or I didn't want you to do.
because
Um,
fucking remember in the hurricane episode they had that big dumbass shark swimming around the house. And even after he
dude,
harpooned Francine to the fucking wall, the shark looked over and was just giving him the no, bro.
no.
Right.
So yeah, I think one of the better cartoon moms has to be like Marge Simpson, right? She's pretty vanilla when it comes to like she doesn't treat her kids bad. Like it's usually Homer. Like she's like a sympathetic mom. She's
Right.
like typical like she doesn't get like too crazy. I'm not wrong with that, right? I haven't watched The Simpsons in a while, but I always remember Marge being a little bit more mellow.
Yeah, she's just like from a scale to 1 to 10, she's always at like just a constant 5.5.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. She's there for her kids.
I don't
You
ever
know,
remember her like crashing out over
right.
anything. She's just
Right.
always
And
chilling, like you said.
yeah, I mean, at the beginning she puts Maggie in the grocery bag, but that's fine. I mean, she still has her. Like
Who
she's
do,
carrying around the groceries with her in it.
who doesn't do that every now and again?
Exactly. Who doesn't fucking pay for their kid in the checkout line? Even though the thing on the screenshot says no sale,
Hey,
she paid for them.
well, duh. I mean, how else
All
would
right.
I mean? I thought if you're not gonna pay for kids, I mean, I thought it was the stork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I came. Via Bird and via what is that thing like they have in their fucking mouth, like the fucking just like I guess like it's like a blanket or something,
Yeah,
and they just
it's
fucking
like a
have it
burlap sack.
hanging. Yeah, like like yeah, what if the fucking bird is fucking flying, right, with this goddamn
It
baby in his
just
fucking
slips
mouth?
out.
That or like the wind blows and like you're like, "Oh, well, I guess we don't have a baby." Like I guess
The great depictions in those kid movies and shows to how children get brought in via
yeah.
stork. I wonder who came up with that.
I have no idea. I guess it's just an easier thing to tell kids, like, oh yeah, the stork brings it, instead of like, yeah, your dad nails me. There's a thing growing out inside of me, and then
Right.
I essentially poop it out my vagina. Like,
I mean, that's how.
I guess stork is a little bit easier to tell
I
a
mean,
child.
I mean, the stork was how Dumbo got brought in Dumbo.
Fucking Dumbo. But no, so we also have moms like Peggy Bundy. I know that's before your time with
Yeah.
Married with Children. Have you ever watched Married with Children?
No.
Oh, it's awesome. I think they're actually making a cartoon.
I was about to say, is it like a TV show, movie?
Yeah, it was a TV show on Fox. It was like in the late '80s, early '90s. You should definitely watch this show. Like
Is it on anything?
there's no way it could be made today.
Oh,
Just
it's one
with
of
all like
those.
the the jokes and the like, it's very like stereotypical, like you have your gender roles, but Peggy is like the opposite of what like a house mom, or what do they call it? Yeah, house mom, I guess.
Yeah.
Someone that doesn't work, is that a house mom?
It's like a housewife,
um
yeah.
yeah, housewife. That's that. So she's a housewife, but she doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, and she just sits on the couch and eats bonbons all day. And and then she just complains about Al's like low salary as a shoe salesman, a women's shoe salesman at that. But like, yeah, it's body shape. There's a lot of body shaming in it.
So just the
There's just
sensory wouldn't pass today.
old school comedy that's not allowed today, I guess, in today's society. But it's fucking hilarious. It's on Hulu. I watched the whole series, within the last year or two,
Mm-hmm.
again, and it's a show that you should really check out. But Peggy Bundy's got she's one of the iconic moms, because she was so not a mom that she would be just smoking and basically telling the kids to fend for themselves. And once in a while there'd be like one chicken leg for two kids and stuff, so they would have to eat, like fight it out to eat it. And or she'd feed the dog over the kids, shit like that.
Really quick though, we just got a comment in the chat, and I'm sure you would know a lot more of what she's talking about than I. The comment says, "Yeah, Al is a foot guy."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, because he's a shoe salesman, so like the women, he's selling women's shoes. So a lot of times he has the women's foot in his hand, and a lot of times they're these very young, like attractive girls on the show, that are his clients, and then he has to go home to his wife, So that's like the bit, and it's there.
It's kind of
So, but yeah, I would think that he's probably a foot guy. They're out there. Uh, but yeah, it's a good show. You should check it out. There's like literally like 10 seasons, and
You said it's on Hulu, right?
yeah.
They're about what, 30 minutes an episode?
Without commercials, they're probably like 20, 22 minutes, something like that.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah, but we got there's been a lot of like legendary moms, especially in like movies and stuff, like Forrest Gump's mom before she died.
Yeah, before she died.
That's what I'm saying.
What did she do? She didn't she just like raise a special needs kid?
Yeah, that's what makes her a good mom. you,
Okay.
You know how hard that shit probably is.
What happened to the dad? Didn't something happen to the dad? Like, didn't he walk out on her or something?
Probably.
Horace, he walked out on me.
He said, "My son's got leg braces. Are we serious?"
He
And
ain't never gonna win the Heisman. I'm out. Fuck this guy.
he ain't never gonna win the Heisman. Is crazy.
he, ain't, he ain't never gonna fucking come up with bubblegum shrimp or fucking invest in Apple or do whatever the fuck else he does. He's never gonna have a fucking boat. He's gonna do is fucking hook up with a AIDS infested woman and have a have a child that sees dead things.
bro, bro, bro. Bro, Forrest Gump was genuinely like the first Swiss Army knife. He came out as a disabled child, literally broke free of his braces.
Just keep running until they break off.
Ended up becoming,
You know that motherfucker would have just stumbled like just once they fucking broke off.
Bro literally would have turned into a tumbleweed.
Right. And then just got his ass beat by the kids that he was running from.
Then what? He was a football star, a war veteran, ping pong champ, multi-millionaire shrimp fisherman, and then
invested in Apple.
Invested in Apple, and then I was gonna say at the end of the movie he really wasn't like doing anything. He was just mowing the football grass just to mow the grass.
Yeah, so, but like, didn't his mom say something like, just like her last line was like, "Forrest, I'm dying." He's like, what?
Yeah, cause when he got the phone call, him and Lieutenant Dan were on the boat, and he just like slung the phone and just dove out of the fucking boat and just damn near swam home. And then the next thing you know, it's him running down the fucking street with his fucking suitcase. Yeah, and then he just walks in there. "What's wrong, Mama?"
And then she's like, "Forrest, I'm dying." And then he's like, "Okay, well, see you later, I guess. Like, you weren't in my life this entire time. You never came to one of my football games." Fucking terrible mom.
Hey.
She never came to see me at war.
She never came to see me at war. It's crazy. Oh, shit.
I never got one single letter, Mom. All I got was return to senders from Jenny.
I remember because he would like write her every night, and then nothing came. I was gonna say nothing came back until he got shot in the ass, and then he was in the hospital bed, and they're like, "Letters for Mr. Gump." Yeah, it's like this thick. Just telling him about how much he was hoeing around.
Right. Well, no, it wasn't even to him. Like, it was just all his letters, right? She never wrote him back.
I could have sworn she wrote him back.
I didn't think she wrote him back. I thought it was all return to senders.
Yo, imagine writing your boothang every night in the pouring rain in gunfire just for it to be returned to sender. And the return to sender address is a jungle in Vietnam.
Oh god, that's depressing, man. That's.
They're like, "Sir, we don't know where to return this. Just throw it in the shredder." He's writing her poems and shit, and it's returned to sender. Wasn't she living out of a van for a little bit because she was a hippie? So where the fuck was he sending the letters, dude?
She's got a P.O. box. Maybe she's got a P.O. box somewhere. Or maybe that's why they returned to sender, because she never had an address. And they're like, well, this address or this person don't exist. So, you know, she's out there getting AIDS.
Instead of an address, he puts her license plate.
Oh, man.
Holy shit, this is too funny. Moms. We're on the topic of moms.
Yeah.
Moms.
You know who's a terrible mom?
Who?
Is fucking Hey Arnold's mom. You ever watch Hey Arnold?
You're damn right I did.
She's non-existent, dude. She was like a traveler. She just, her and her husband just dropped the kid off at the grandparents at a boarding house. Like, okay, well, you can live with all these weirdos. I'm glad you have a cool room, but, You know, hopefully your grandma and grandpa who are fucking 90 years old take care of you, and the grandma's crazy.
Dude, for real. Hey Arnold was such an underrated like kid show in the 90s.
Dude, so there's this crazy episode, right? That grandpa go like he never got his like 6th grade or 5th grade diploma or something, right?
Yeah.
So he has to go back to elementary school to get it. And grandpa starts dating 2 of the girls. Like,
wait a minute.
He's like 90 years old.
Wait
and
a
they're
minute.
like,
I used to... I must have missed. I must have missed an episode.
Dude, for real, like he goes to the movies with like these 2 girls that are in like 5th grade.
That's insane.
And he's wearing a leather jacket.
That's like when do you remember in Family Guy when Peter had to go back redo the 5th grade and Quagmire shows up to be his dad and check him out? And then he sees oh, are you sure you're Peter's dad? Yes, ma'am. Oh, really? Because you look like that kid over there's dad.
And then the other classroom, and then the Spanish classroom. And he's like, Papi?
Yeah, Papa. And he's like, every time he just sees another one, he just goes, "Oh God!" It just turns and dips to the next one.
And then he gets in the teacher's lounge and like asks the teacher out.
He's like, "Hey, want to have unprotected sex?"
Oh, I'm crying.
Oh shit, that's too funny.
But mom, we're talking about moms. We keep getting sidetracked.
You know who was a horrible mom, but they didn't show any of like her parenting skills in the show? Benny from George Lopez.
That's George's mom, right?
Yeah, that's George's mom.
Yeah. She just yells at him all the time, doesn't she?
I mean, he calls her a fucking bat. I mean, he calls her a fucking bat. She's like this fucking tall and an alcoholic. And she just always talks about like this shitty thing. There was one episode of George Lopez where a lot of it's on Peacock too, by the way. Once again, highly recommended. The show's awesome. There was an episode where him and Angie, his wife, were trying to find out who could use the least amount of money. So then he was ranting to his mom, to Benny, "I can't do it," and she was like, "Who was the kid that cut lemons in half for like deodorant and stuff on his dates? Who was the kid that didn't have a pool party but filled up a trash can with water and was doing laps?" It's just
in front of George.
Yeah, just a horrible.
Be a bore.
Dude, for real. I always love George Lopez, man. That's a awesome show.
That's an underrated show, man. I haven't watched it in years, but I remember watching it when I was a teenager.
Just a core memory of waking up at like 2 a.m. and hearing the fucking dong 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 the fucking Nick Knight intro. Right.
And they're jumping on the fucking trampoline or whatever the fuck. You know, there's there's different kinds of moms too. There's, you know, you have your biological mom, you have stepmoms. You know, a good stepmom is the mom from Step Brothers. If you think about it, she's a great mom. I forget her name. What's her name? Oh, there goes a blind.
Your set is falling apart.
I know. I mentioned stepmoms and my set falls apart. But what's her name? It's hey, shut up.
The one from Step Brothers?
It's Huff. Yeah. What's her first name? Well, her first name, she's Brendan's mom.
Yeah.
Right? So, what's her name? I can't think of her fucking name.
Her name is Nancy Huff is her name.
Nancy?
Nancy Huff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So Nancy, think about it, right? She's already got a very special child who's 40 years old that never moved out. And he's, you know, a little probably autistic. A little off.
Don't touch my drum set.
She's got a successful son and then she has to basically adopt this other 40-year-old special person. On another show I would say another word, but under this show I'm gonna say just special person, autistic, whatever you want to say. But he's Dale Doback, right?
Yeah.
Like for her to put up with two of these people like this, she's a saint. Like if
She's a saint.
well, I think most people in that position would be like, look, I already deal with one. I'm not like you have a son too that like, fucking puts their couch cushions in the stove when you're sleeping and makes a
Yeah.
goddamn mess of everything and is just a hassle. Like, I'm not dealing with this shit, but she puts up with it. I mean, yeah, they get a divorce, but they get back together.
Mm-hmm.
Get back.
Speaking of doing speaking of doing stupid shit to your moms, when my sister was younger, like probably before she developed the ability to fully put sentences together, she would take my mom's oven mitts outside and fill them with dirt and put them back in. And my mom used to get,
who is this?
my sister. My mom would get so pissed.
Was she sleepwalking?
No, but like she would just
do it.
She would just do it, and my mom would get so fucking pissed.
Did you ever beat your mom up with Hulk hands?
No, it was
throw
just
her down the stairs.
No, but she would just not subconsciously, but like fucking kids' minds are so just imagination. I don't know. I guess it was a whatever to her, but yeah, she used to just fill her oven mitts up with dirt, and my mom used to get fucking livid because she'd fucking...
like your sister would no longer be your sister if that was me. Like, I'd just be like, dude, like I know you're probably 3-4 years old or however old you are, but I don't know if there's an age limit of dropping off a kid at the fire station. So I'd just be like, hey,
yo,
like,
could you imagine if there's hold on, is there an age limit?
I don't know.
That's
I know it's a no questions asked for babies.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand.
Could you imagine dropping off like a 12-year-old? Like, hey, dude, I'm sick of your shit. You are now a fireman now.
Right. You belong to the station. Oh man, mom's put up with so much stuff. But yeah, like I wouldn't, if I was Nancy Huff, I would not put up with that shit. I'd be like, look, Mr. Doback, Dr. Doback, I can't do this. Like, I like you and all, I love you and all, but
I've had up to here.
Your child's gotta go.
Yeah.
Your child's gotta go. I already have one that I'm dealing with. So
another great mom, and I don't know how she puts up with this shit. Cartman's mom from South Park.
Dude. Isn't Cartman's mom technically his dad as well? Didn't we find that out in an early episode?
It's South Park, so probably fucking Lee.
Yeah, I think that she was like a hermaphrodite or something.
That's hilarious.
But anyway, yeah, Cartman's mom puts up with a lot of shit. The best was when she stood up for herself and got the fucking dog hunter or the dog whisperer to train Cartman.
Yeah.
And he was like flicking him on the nose and shit.
But me. One of my favorite scenes is when they all get iPads and they go to Best Buy to get the Toshiba. He runs over to the iPad and she tells him to get the Toshiba Handybook, and he was just like, "Why don't you just go ahead and fuck me, mom, right here in the Best Buy?" And then the next scene is him crying in the car, and she was like, "If you're really sorry, you will not you will understand why you're getting nothing." He was like, "Oh, I said a no." She was like, "Why would you run outside to the close officer and say, 'Help, my mom's trying to fuck me'?" And
he's like, isn't he like, I would rather, he's like, I want to get taken out for dinner before you fuck me.
Yeah, he was like, well, can't we at least pull over and get something to eat? Because I'd like to be wined and dined after I've been fucked.
Doesn't he say like he'll take the Toshiba too? Like after he's like,
yeah, he's like, can we just go back and get the Toshiba Handybook? then she's like, no.
Oh god!
And then there's
he
the
child services on her too at one point.
yeah, and then there's the World of Warcraft episode when he fucking uses the intercom. Mom, bathroom.
He just shits all over.
And then before that, he uses Mom, more hot pockets. And then fucking Stanner Kyle's like, dude, that's uber cool. Honestly, when cancel culture first came around, I was like, South Park is done. There's no fucking way it survives.
Well, like when it's animated, you're allowed to stretch.
And then when I was talking to my boys about it, we were talking amongst ourselves. We were like, everybody gets hated equally on there.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah,
dude. Like they showed no discrimination when it comes to who's finna get hated on.
Right. Yeah. Two going with animated, the mom from Bob's Burgers. Who is it?
I never watched Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers is amazing, dude. What the hell's her name? I watch it all the time. I'm drawing a blank. Yes, Bob. It's Luis, Tina, and people are probably screaming at me if they're watching.
Linda.
It was right at the tip of my tongue. Linda Belcher. She's always singing. She's always in a good mood. The kids take advantage of her. She's a nice mom.
Mm-hmm.
Just a nice mom. You should watch Bob's Burgers. I was very against Bob's Burgers when it first came out because I was like, man, this show's going to suck because the animation kind of sucks. Or at least in my mind it did. But now I love it, and I love the animation.
What's it on? Like Hulu?
It's on Fox. But yeah, Hulu.
I was gonna say, cause isn't Hulu partner with Fox? Like their spinoff shit,
Probably.
like with FX?
I mean, a lot of their stuff is on there. Family Guy, American Dad.
Mm.
So, but yeah, check out Bob's Burgers because Linda's always singing a little jingle, annoying her kids. Her and Luis have to go to like a mommy daughter like counseling class. And they both get locked in the closet watching Freaky Friday because they're not cooperating. And Linda's paying Louise to be good, and then the instructor finds out, and it just goes to hell.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's a good show.
You brought up you brought up moms that aren't your traditional moms, like your stepmoms, your aunts.
Mm-hmm.
Aunt May from all the Spider-Man movies. Banger mom-ish role. Well, mom role.
Is she in the first Spider-Man with Macho Man?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the only Spider-Man I've seen.
In literally every single Spider-Man, there is a Uncle Ben and Aunt May. Every single one.
Do they take care of Spider-Man?
Yeah. And then Uncle Ben,
Spider-Man doesn't have a mom?
No, his parents died.
Yeah.
Dude,
what's all the superheroes and their parents dying?
Apparently, it is so funny because I just saw this morning on Twitter. Number one comic book rule: everyone can get brought back except Uncle Ben from Spider-Man. Bro just always stays dead. Like you look at Iron Man.
Wayne's parents died. So he had to be Bruce Wayne and Batman and stuff. But yeah, I was just telling my girlfriend the other day. And she didn't really like the idea, but I asked her if I could try to get bit by a random animal to try to become a superhero.
What'd she say?
I was thinking like Ostrich Man or something, know.
And what'd she say?
Faster than the average bird. She didn't really like the idea. She kind of shut it down.
That's no
fun.
I
know. I'm like, what's wrong with being Ostrich Man? Faster than your average bird? You could lay giant eggs and throw it at people and shit, or shit it out, like, have you ever played Super Mario Brothers 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the eggs that come flying from the fucking bird's mouth.
Yeah, that's what you could do with yours.
Yeah, exactly. You could shoot giant eggs at people.
I was gonna say the only thing about being Ostrich Man, whenever there's any kind of heartbreak, they're very suicidal birds. So
I didn't know that, but I mean, it's not like I don't know how I would transform if I had have a costume or something, but I don't think I'd have like a long neck. So I don't know.
Could you imagine your neck extends The small little
Dude, that
tail
would be
comes
kinda
out.
cool, like, if it was like a go-go gadget neck and,
Uh,
like, it could retract.
it kind of goes into another banger, mom. Elastic Girl from Incredibles.
I've never seen it, but
Uh,
I'll take your word.
Another really good movie. Another really good movie.
That's the animated one, right?
Yeah, she's the one that started the Pixar mom trend.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. The
But then you have whore moms like Stifler's mom, in American Pie. Like he's hooking up with
Stifler's mom.
well, I guess they graduated, so
But still,
they're
dude.
yeah, you're hooking up with your son's friend or well, I guess they're acquaintances. They're in the same friend group, right?
Yeah.
Stifler and Finch.
She was
But
in
yeah,
all of
you
them,
have
right?
she
Because I
I
remember
think
she was in the
so.
first
Uh,
one.
she's in the first
It's
one.
been so long since I've
Um
seen the American Pie movies. There's what, like three of them?
yeah, four of them. Four of them, I think.
Mm,
I've never seen the fourth one, Reunion or whatever it's called.
yeah.
But the first two she's in because she shows up at the end at the second one at the beach party. And then the third one is the wedding. I'm not sure if she's in that one,
Mm.
but yeah, again, probably not a good idea to sleep around with your son's friend.
Right.
Just saying. Like that probably doesn't make you a good mom. And
The
that's probably why your son's a little fucking weird
weird.
and wants to fuck around with people. So, just saying.
I'm not saying much, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. That might instantly put you on like the D tier of like moms of like all
Yeah.
moms. Yeah.
And then you have moms like what the hell's her name? I just had it up. I have to look real quick. Um, um, Christine Barnett. I don't know if you know who this person is. There's a show on Hulu called Good American Family, and there's
Right
actually
over my
based
head.
off a real thing, and there's a documentary about this Natalia Grace chick. She is she was adopted as an orphan at like 6 or 7 years old. Well, they thought she was 6 or 7 years old. They found out that she may have been like, in her early 20s. Um, you know, through this adoption agency. She was from Ukraine and she was supposed to be 7 years old. And they found, like, they walked in on her in the bathroom one time and she already had pubes. And so, like, you don't really have pubic hair when you're like 6 or 7 years old. So, they went through this whole investigation. It's a fucking crazy documentary, dude. And it was like,
Serious?
it happened in like the 2010s area. Um, this lady who Christine Barnett, she adopted this kid. I don't know if her other kids were adopted or not, but she adopted this little girl, and she had this form of like dwarfism. I
Mm.
probably should have said that first. So she's like really short, and it's a very rare part of dwarfism or whatever. And they thought she was like 6 or 7 years old, but like she ended up being like either a teenager or like in early 20s, and like she was like terrorizing the family and like was like trying to kill the mom, and then like would tell them that she was gonna kill the kids and all this shit. So then
What?
they just put her in a fucking apartment and it was like, all right, like you're fucking 20 years old because they found out all these documents and shit, like they research or whatever. And so there was never like a definite thing of how old this chick was, so they put her in this fucking apartment, but they're still like liable for her. So like she was like they basically she got basically arrested for neglect, because legally she adopted her, but like then like so she's still part of her family and they were paying her rent and shit, but they like just like it was like, all right, you can fend for yourself. And then like
That's
yeah,
fucking
it,
nuts.
it's wild. Like in the TV show, like they the actress that plays her is really really creepy, and I can't tell if she's like a little girl or like some like a dwarf as well, or like a little person.
Mm.
But like yeah, the it's an interesting story, and especially since it's like based off true shit.
You said it's a
Like
show?
it's they made it into a series,
I was about
but
to
it's
say,
also a documentary.
is it like one of those three-part docu series?
Like a 2-season documentary, and then like there's like a ton of episodes for the actual show as well. So the documentary, like we watched the first couple episodes. It was better than the show because it actually tells what actually happened and shit. But it's just a little too long. Like they could have wrapped it up.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say because normally whenever you see like some of those docu-series, like the Aaron Hernandez one on Netflix, like it's like 3 episodes, 6
right,
episodes. Like
right.
it's not because when you said seasons, I'm like
Yeah,
you could easily just wrap up those stories in within 6, 7 episodes.
yeah. So Christine Barnett, like the little girl, like she pushed her into a electric fence trying to kill her,
Have
and luckily it wasn't like
on or
high
something.
voltage or
Ha,
whatever. But
have you
yeah,
seen? To go a little off topic, have you seen those videos online of it's always guys doing stupid shit like this, but this is what makes the internet awesome. They'll
yeah,
all wear like shock collars, only one of them's on, and it's one of those underground electric fences. So they'll just
yeah.
run, and then one of them will just fucking collapse.
Yep, yep.
Them shits are so
Or
funny.
the fucking my buddy got that fucking zap roulette or whatever, and you put your fucking hand in and like it goes around and that shit, dude. Like it's coming, you're like, and it's just a fucking little zap to your finger, dude. And that fucking
That-
Jesus
Did
Christ,
you ever get zapped?
hell yeah, man, it freaking hurts.
I love
But
how we go
yeah,
from
man,
moms to getting zapped.
give me another mom.
Another mom. Claire and Gloria from Modern Family. I don't know if you ever watched Modern Family.
Never watched Modern Family either.
It's such a little goofy fake show. It's got fuck, what's her name? Sofia Vergara plays
Yeah, Ed O'Neill in it.
yeah.
He's Al Bundy
Yeah. They
from Married
from what?
Married with Children, with what I was talking about earlier with Peggy Bundy.
They're connected.
He's in that. He's the shoe salesman.
They're connected. No though,
Yes.
but it's just a normal sitcom, but Claire is the, semi overprotective if to for lack of better terms, white mom and
White mom.
Sofia Vergara's character Gloria, it's hilarious because Claire's husband Phil has had a crush on Gloria he has a crush on her like the whole fucking show because her dad um is Gloria's husband, so it's like, oh, your dad is dating or is married to the girl that he's had a crush on for the whole fucking show, and then she's a good mom for her kid. I mean, she's a badass mom too, because like she's got that what's the word I want to use for a better lack of term, she's got like the that Colombian fire. So like there'll be some scenes where she fucking spazzes out on it's been
The
so
Latin
long since I
spice?
fucking the Latin spice.
The Latin spice, dude.
100%. And there's just some scenes where Manny, their fucking son's name is Manny, where she'll he real smart kid, he'll do some badass stupid shit and she'll just fucking spaz. I'm like, damn.
Ugh, man.
Oh,
But yeah, man. I'm trying to think of some more quality moms out there, or not quality moms.
The mom
out there.
from the Addams Family.
Oh, Morticia. Morticia's a great mom.
Yeah.
She's a great. I mean, like, even when like Wednesday wants to like electrocute what's the brother's name? Wigsley or something? Pigsley?
Yeah.
Pigsley?
Something
Pigsley,
like that.
right? Yeah, we'll just call him Pigsley. Like when Wednesday wants to electrocute him, and like she's like, should you really be doing this? She's like, Mom, I just want to have fun. She's like, okay, just a little. She lets her kids have fun. I mean, she knows their family's kind of fucked up and like goth and whatever, but she rolls with it. I wonder how her and Gomez met. Is there a backstory with that?
If not, we got a great idea for a TV show.
Yeah, because like are they like two?
It's Pugsley.
Pugsley.
Yeah.
Pugsley. Not Pigsley.
Yes.
So but like, so are these like two just weird ass people that were like in regular society, and then they were like, oh yeah,
you're weird, I'm weird. Let's be weird together.
is it like Monsters Inc., where like they're all fucking weird and they're like, oh, we just went to the weird school
Yeah.
or wherever, or we're from Transylvania or wherever the fuck, where vampires are from.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
What a,
interesting how we get there.
one of my favorite small 2-second scenes from the Addams Family is when big tall dude, can't remember his fucking name, fucking rings the door rings the doorbell, bro opens it up. You rang.
Yeah, man.
Yes, the you rang dude.
You rang.
You rang.
I forget his name. Yeah, I forget his name because there's Uncle Fester.
Mm.
Um, there's Cousin It. There's um, Pugsley Wednesday. The Hand. What's the Hand? Hand. What was the Hand? What was in the Hand's name? Didn't the Hand have a name?
You,
It? No, that was Cousin It.
you
Cousin
know,
It had the hair.
like I said, you know how long it's been since I've seen the Addams Family? Didn't they try and do like a Wednesday spinoff on
Yeah, on Hulu or on Netflix.
is it
I
good?
heard it's pretty good. I heard it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But the only Wednesday
Lurch.
Adam no Lurch.
Someone in the chat just said Lurch. Little hand.
Yeah, Wednesday Adams will always be Christina Ricci to me. And now Christina Ricci's in the Yellow Jackets show, and I didn't even know it was her until we looked it up.
Mm.
So
It be, I'm not actor savvy, so like
yeah, I mean
if I see someone is I updated name on the hand. The hand is called Thing.
thing
Yes,
thing.
updated help from the always helpful chat. So I'm not actor savvy. So if I see an actor in a movie, I'll say, "Oh, that's so and so from another movie."
Exactly. We were watching The Last of Us yesterday, the newest episode.
Yeah,
And what's his name? Drake from Josh and Drake is in it
yeah.
in the last episode. Like he was talking, I'm like, why do I know this guy's voice? And I never watched Drake and Josh. Like that
Banger
was way past.
show, awesome show.
Yeah, there was also one of the main characters getting raped.
Yeah, it was Drake.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, Josh was in this show, not Drake. Whatever one didn't get raped. Like the
Josh.
other one. I don't know the difference. But the kid that was in The Whackness. You ever see the movie The Whackness?
No.
Oh, it was a kind of an independent film that he was in. He sells weed out of a ice cream cart in New York City, and it takes place in like '95.
Is that the one?
Great song.
Is that the one where he like has the where he has like the spaz out scene on the canoe?
No.
Josh's actor? No, then never mind.
No. But yeah. He sells weed out of an ice cream cart.
Nice.
And it's got an amazing soundtrack because that's like all the shit that I listen to, like Nas and Wu-Tang and all that stuff. So great soundtrack to that movie, but not the best movie. One of the Olsen twins is in it. Anyway. Banger moms. Who else is a banger mom out there? We have a few minutes left of the show.
We got Peggy from Hank Hill.
From King of the Hill?
Yeah, from King of the Hill. I don't know why. I don't know why I said from Hank Hill like a jackass.
Yeah, I don't know either because maybe because you are a jackass. I don't know. But I haven't watched King of the Hill in probably season 2.
Apparently, they're supposed to make a revival of the show. However, like Dale's voice actor died. Then like 3 other voice actors died. Now, once again, they weren't predominant characters, but a lot of people, because it got rumored a couple years ago that they were going to try and bring it back, and then like 2 weeks later, Dale's fucking voice actor died, and I was like, damn, dude, rip.
Damn.
Yeah,
I think I think we covered some significant moms today.
Yeah,
like we covered a nice slate of moms. Mother's Day is obviously on Sunday, so if you do have a mom that's not buried or in a jar, go celebrate with her. Bring her some flowers. Bring her a nice gift. Make her breakfast. Do something.
That's insane. If you have a mom that's not 6 under or in a jar.
I mean,
I mean,
That's man. Or like if you
you can still get your
if you
mom
don't
flowers.
if you have an estranged mother that you don't talk to anymore, then
Do
do
that too.
something else. Do something nice for someone else's mom.
Shoot,
I'm sure there's a mom in your life that
do
you
so,
can visit
or
or do
do
something nice for.
or shoot him a text.
Yeah, shoot them a text. Be like, hey, just thinking about you. Happy Mom's Day.
I was gonna say that's what
You
I
know, I
do
know
to
you're
all.
not my mom,
That's what I
but
do to all the moms I know that I'm not like in immediate contact with, like all friends like moms and stuff like that. That I have
yeah,
their number. I'm like, oh, hey, happy Mother's Day, XYZ, all that
yeah,
jazz. Yeah,
yeah. Happy Mother's Day. You're doing a great job. Make
yeah.
sure you tell them that they're doing a great job, even if you know they are doing a shitty ass job
Even
with
if
their
they're
child.
beating them,
Yeah, even if they're raising the next Jeffrey Dahmer, like they're trying, I guess. Just
the kids
make them
breathe.
feel
The
good.
kids breathing.
Like
So
he's breathing.
you're doing
He
a good
hasn't
job.
killed anyone yet. He hasn't eaten anyone's liver yet. Like, give him a break. Maybe take that rebel child out for a couple hours. Give her a break. Take him to a park. Maybe he'll meet a friend. Maybe he'll get arrested for killing someone. I don't know. Maybe he'll be doing her a huge favor by getting rid of the kid.
Maybe he'll kill the friend.
Maybe it'll be her last Mother's Day because she doesn't want the kid anymore. Like we don't know. I mean, you don't have to do anything damaging to the kid. You just get him arrested or something.
It's so funny when we do these like non-sports related shows, because on the the scroll docket wheel, it's all just sports recaps and questions.
Well, the Pittsburgh Pirates fired their coach yesterday.
They did.
After a 26 start.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know if you're
so.
familiar with Don Kelly, but he is their new coach. He was their bench coach.
Mhm.
The only reason I know about Don Kelly is he was a Tiger for like 8 years,
Yeah.
and like so the dude was good defensively. Like you could literally like one game he actually played all 9 positions in one game,
That's
including
insane.
pitching. And he's one of the few players in MLB history to do that. So he's super versatile. He's super utility man. But the guy would like he probably had like a 220 batting average, but it seemed like he would just like get these hits and like people would just be like Don Kelly baby, and like you can't say I wrote an article about it yesterday, and I Lil Wayne is always like, Wheezy F baby, don't
Yeah.
forget the baby. You know, you can't say Don Kelly's name without saying baby at the end. It
That's
is
funny.
DKB baby. It is Don Kelly baby, and he's going to be taking over the reins as the Pirates manager.
To include Pittsburgh into it, it's kind of funny. The Pittsburgh Penguins also mutually parted ways, aka they fired your ass. They
Yeah.
fired their head coach Mike Sullivan after the regular season for the NHL after um, a pretty rough past 5 seasons, but he won 2 cups with them, so
Yeah.
good for him.
Yeah, it gets in that gray area when, especially when you have success,
Hmm.
winning 2 cups and then getting released. But like, yeah, with Derek Shelton, I mean, his record was like 306 and 440 since 2020. So yeah, probably time for a change, especially with that young core group with like Paul Skeens,
Yeah.
Brian Hayes, O'Neal Cruz, Brian Reynolds.
Yeah.
They got some talent. They just
Hmm.
need, something. They just need that to take it to the next step. But
And it's not like they're, because to me, once again, from someone who's not as knowledgeable about baseball as you, to me it's like they have like arguably the best pitcher in the league in Paul Skeens, arguably,
mhm.
and then you have like your Mitch Kellers and your
Yeah.
good enough pitchers to be at least semi serviceable.
Right. And to be dead last in your division, third worst record in baseball, like it's kind of unacceptable.
I was gonna say, because
Um,
the Pirates have been a running joke for the past like 5-6 years. Basically, all since I've at least semi watched baseball, they're like, oh, the Pirates are just bad.
yeah. I mean, they're a low market team. Their owner obviously doesn't spend, like they're
Mm-hmm.
small market, like you're trying to build within, and baseball's tough to do that. Like
Mm-hmm.
unless you start getting some real superstars, but it takes years. I mean, look, the Tigers are finally they're the second best record in the league, but they minus last year, that last month and a half, they had been bad for 10 years. I mean,
Hmm.
now it's finally time for these prospects to start flourishing, and they are. And even that, like it's the lineup is kind of chaos. Basically day to day, you don't know who's going to be playing, but
I
they're
saw
winning. So.
I saw a stat this morning. The Tigers are actually number one in the MLB in a run differential. They're like a plus 83, and the Yankees are like a plus 61.
Yeah, their pitching is amazing too. Like they're just doing things right over in Detroit.
Yeah, and
Killing the Rockies twice yesterday. By the way, had a little small 2-game parlay with the Tigers -1.5 in both games. Cash that bitch for a plus 243 payout.
they
Let's go.
when Paul Skeens went to got drafted by the Pirates last year, I remember seeing he's gonna look great in pinstripes, and it's like because that's just how most Pirates.
Baseball is.
Yeah, like you look, they had Tyler Glass now, then went to the Rays. Now with the Dodgers,
Yep.
they had Garrett Cole, and then he
Yep.
went to wherever the fuck, and now with the Yankees. I want to say he went to like Houston or
He
something.
went to Houston, and then he went to the Yankees, I think.
Yeah,
And same with like McCutchen. I think McCutchen played for the Yankees at one point, but now he's back.
yeah.
So that's what the Yankees do, man. They take these players from the best, small market teams. I mean, Jazz Chisholm, like he's over in New York, having a hell of a season. So,
He's actually hurt right
but
now. I don't know if you saw. He took a
uh,
like 2 weeks ago. He took a pitch to the ass, and
ooh,
then like he stayed in the game and like the next pitch hit a triple and then said, "Hey dog, get me out the fucking game."
yeah. No, I know he had a good couple weeks with that torpedo bat.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really heard anything from him since. But yeah, man. So mom's on Sunday. You got any plans for your mother?
We're probably gonna go to like dinner or something, or
Cool.
go see her dad.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're going to the girlfriend's house.
Hmm.
Actually, I'm golfing in the morning, but going to the girlfriend's house in the afternoon. And I might put some googly eyes on my mom's urn to bring her over, and we can all eat brunch or steak dinner or something. And
Have you
I could
done
put.
that before?
No, I told them I would. I was like, if you ever want me to, I can bring her. She's
Some
sitting in my room in an Undertaker type urn.
with some
It looks
googly
like one
eyes.
of
That's crazy.
those. Dude, if you back in the early to mid '90s, with Paul Bear coming out with the Undertaker, the big urn.
Yeah, that big
That's
giant
the
gold urn.
that's the one I got. That's the one I got for my mom. Like I got a huge one, and it like she probably takes like 1/20th of the space. So there's a lot of space in there. So she's like living in a mansion.
Hey.
But I'm afraid to open it because like I don't know if it's gonna be like the genie in Aladdin, where it just like some beam of light and shit and
You,
stuff comes out and shit, and I'm like, oh, get back in there. Like I don't know.
you pick it up, accidentally rub it, and then the fucking clouds and sparkly shit fly out.
Right. Evil mom comes out, dude. It's like Pet
What did
Cemetery, dude. You ever see Pet Cemetery?
yeah.
They bury the dog, the kid, and the cat, and they all come back evil, dude. Like I don't want my mom coming back evil.
Real quick, because I know we're approaching an hour. Did you ever see the remake of Pet Cemetery that came out like 2000 like
No,
17?
I wanted to. The preview looked intriguing, but I didn't know if it was going to be good or not,
It
so
was
I did
straight.
not
It
watch.
was good.
Because like a lot of it was like satanic like witch shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looked intriguing, but I
Hmm.
never checked it out.
Yeah, but it's good.
But yeah, man. So check out newleafnews.network/.com. Takes you to the same great website. We have daily content. Yesterday, I think we put out like 4 or 5 articles.
Yeah.
For a small team, that's it's pretty good. Um, check us out on Facebook, X, Instagram at New Leaf News. Check out 64-Bit Legends. It's a podcast that myself and one of our coworkers, Melvin Troy, co-host. We just dropped our 105th episode yesterday. Gorilla Fest 2, the sequel. Check out what's going on at Gorilla Fest. No more monkeying around. Respect the hustle. It has nothing to do with that, by the way. I think we're gonna get. I wouldn't be surprised if we got some clicks because of the name. But anyway, Um, check me out at Bobby Caboose on X, on Instagram.
Mhm.
Same with the 64-bit Legends stuff. Lawson is at Lawson_1226, plus probably 17 other numbers. That it's like pie, dude. It just keeps going every day. Um, and then, like I said, check out New Leaf News as far as subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like, watch us on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Sometimes Thursdays, sometimes Tuesdays, depending on if I can't get up or not, if I'm hungover, if I got a headache, or if, I'm just like, fuck it, I just don't want to do the show today. We have some days that we can buff in there. Well, I'm sure we're going to be going live at some point, during an event of some sort, like a draft or something. So, check us out for alerts on that. That's why you got to be subscribed. Other than that, man, I got nothing else to say. If you want to take us out, I'm good with that.
As always, for New Leaf News and the Legends Clubhouse, I'm Lawson Turner, and that's Bobby Caboose. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you enjoy your weekend and your Friday, and shout out to all the moms out there, man.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day from us to you guys and your loved ones, and thank you so much.